Hey everybody, welcome back to 10-Minute Timeout with PeeZee, Season 2, Episode 5. We've got some great basketball updates to dive into today, including the latest from the Philadelphia 76ers and an in-depth look at the upcoming WNBA Finals. So grab your favorite snack and let's dive right in. But before we get into that, I want to take a moment to address some things that are much bigger than the game. Our thoughts are with the people in Florida right now as they recover from Hurricane Milton. I just want to take a quick time out to reflect on that before we jump into the basketball action. Well, first, I just want to acknowledge the devastation caused by Hurricane Milton. This storm has left such a heavy mark on the lives of so many people in Florida. Entire communities have been shaken, which more than 3 million people were left without power. And tragically, at least 5 people lost their lives. You know, it's easy to get caught up in the stats like 90 miles per hour winds or the billions in expected damage. But it's the personal stories that hit hardest. Families who've lost homes, businesses, and loved ones. People struggling to find shelter, food, and safety. And as we see here, warm and dry, it's important to remember that for so many, life will never be quite the same. Places like Tampa and Sarasota have been hit especially hard. Flood waters rose up to 10 feet in some areas, and some damaged infrastructures like Tropicana Field's roof is being torn right off the hinges. It really puts things in perspective. It's not just a building, it's a symbol of how fragile things are. But even in the face of such adversity, I'm always amazed by the resilience of people. Emergency crews, neighbors helping neighbors, volunteers stepping up. There's always light at the darkest times. So my heart is with all of you going through this. And I encourage anyone listening to do what they can to support those affected, whether through donations, volunteering, or just sending prayers and positive vibes their way. Now switching gears to basketball. Let's kick things off with the Sixers playing their first game against the New Zealand Breakers, winning 139-84. Tyrese Maxey shined bright in the first quarter, scoring 15 points, showcasing his speed and shooting skills. Also, Gershon Yabusele and Ricky Council IV also impressed with their performances, which will be crucial as the team looks to finalize their rotation. The Sixers are getting ready for their next preseason game against Minnesota. The Timberwolves are pretty stacked with that trade that went on a few weeks ago. And that game is going down this Friday. It'll be tomorrow as I'm recording today. I know many fans are excited about Paul George's debut in the Sixers uniform. It's going to be an interesting game. Even though Joel Embiid will not be sitting this one out, I honestly, in my opinion, think that he should sit out the whole preseason.
Wise guy, huh?
We know what he's capable of, and we want him to be the healthiest he can be going forward into the regular season. And I'm pretty sure that the coaches are addressing that. We'll get to that sometime later. It's been great hearing about the chemistry being built in the training camp, though, especially with some of the new faces like Jared McCain and Adem Bona. I think we're in for a really good, exciting season. At the Philadelphia training camp in the Bahamas, players have been expressing positive thoughts about each other, reflecting on strong team chemistry and optimism for the upcoming season. Coach Nick Nurse highlighted the high energy and collaborative spirit within the squad, noting that the players not only worked hard but also connected well off the court. One standout player has been rookie Jared McCain, who drew significant praise from Joel Embiid, the MVP. Embiid described McCain as our best player in training camp, acknowledging his shooting skill and competitive nature. He emphasized that McCain reminds him of Tyrese Maxey, noting their similarities in enthusiasm and great personalities. Maxey himself has been supportive of McCain, commenting his progress and his comfort on the court as the camp progressed. Other players, including Paul George and Kelly Oubre Jr., have also been recognized for their impactful performances, with George receiving positive reviews for his fitness and Oubre appearing rejuvenated. They also focused on defense. Paul George has emphasized the team's defense compatibilities, noting that players like himself, Caleb Martin, and Kelly Oubre Jr. are creating a chaotic defensive environment. And I'm going to tell you one thing, y'all, I am here for it. He mentioned that their ability to lock down the perimeter has improved the team's overall defense, which allows for better rebounding opportunities. Speaking of rebounding, the self-proclaimed best rebounder in league history, Andre Drummond, spoke about defense, highlighting the team's emphasis on defense during camp, stating that the coaching staff is instilling a strong defensive mentality. He noted, quote, "If we can be a top defensive team, everything else will fall into place." What do you think about that, drill squad? You think that's what this team was needing? A strong, impactful defensive mind? In my opinion, I think he's 100% correct. Let's also talk about Adem Bona, another rookie who's earning attention. Bona has been focusing on establishing trust with the coaching staff and contributing positively in practices. Andre Drummond has also taken a mentorship role, aiding Bona's transition into the league. It's got to be hard for young players to come from college right into the league. They've only been out of school for, a year and a month, maybe 14, 15 months in total. So that's a great job that Andre is doing. I really appreciate that because you never know what things they can go through, especially in our first road trip that we got at the beginning of the season. Overall, the camaraderie and enthusiasm among the players seemed to bode well for the Sixers as they gear up for the season. After facing the Timberwolves, the 76ers will go on to play the Boston Celtics at the TD Garden the following day on October 12th. As we look forward to the upcoming NBA season, let's also turn our attention to the WNBA Finals, which kicks off tonight. The New York Liberty are set up to face the Minnesota Lynx and the 2024 WNBA Finals, marking a highly anticipated matchup between the league's top teams. The Liberty, coming off a regular season with 32-8 record, swept the Atlanta Dream in the first round of the playoffs and avenged their previous finals loss to the two-time defending champions Las Vegas Aces by winning the semifinal series 3-1. Ooh, that was a good series. If you didn't catch it, you missed a doozy. The Lynx, on the other hand, secured their spot in the finals after defeating the Connecticut Sun in a hard-fought 5-game series, showcasing both their offensive and defensive prowess. This matchup is intriguing, not only due to the team's histories, but New York is looking for their first championship, and Minnesota aiming for its 5th title, but also because both teams feature outstanding players. The Liberty boasts stars like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, while the Lynx rely heavily on their skills. I had a little cold. It's still kicking in. Rely heavily on the skills of their MVP runner-up, Nafisa Collier, who has been exceptional in the playoffs. I didn't even want to pick in this WNBA MVP race because it was so tight. Congratulations, by the way, to A'ja Wilson. She won it unanimously, and it was well-deserved. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be Nafisa's last attempt at that MVP. She is a defensive monster, and this game tonight is going to be, I think, one for the books. So the two teams have previously faced off this season. The Lynx managed to defeat the Liberty 3 times, including the Commissioner's Cup Championship game, adding an extra layer of intensity to the finals. The finals will begin tonight, October 10th, with a game set to be placed at 8 o'clock. Fans can catch the action live on ESPN. As we close out today's episode, I just want to say, while we're all enjoying the start of the basketball season and the excitement that comes with it, let's keep the people affected by Hurricane Milton in our hearts. It's times like these that remind us that really what matters. What matters is community, compassion, and helping one another rebuild. So to everybody in Florida, we're with you, and we're rooting for your recovery just as much as we're rooting for our favorite team. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of 10 Minute Timeout. Don't forget to subscribe and stay connected for more updates on your favorite teams and players. Remember, we're all in this together, so keep the conversation going with hashtag #TimeOutTogether. Stay safe. Your support means the world to me, and I can't wait to bring you more exciting content. Until next time, let's keep supporting women's sports, and let's talk basketball.